They told you being nice would get you everything: respect, love, approval, a good life. So you gave, you listened, you softened your tone, you swallowed your anger, you said yes when you wanted to say no, and for a while it felt right. You were being a good person. You were doing what you were told would make people care. But now you're starting to notice something. They don't listen when you speak. They don't respect your time. They treat you like an option, not a priority. And the worst part? You're not even sure who you are anymore without the approval of everyone else. So here's the truth. Being nice isn't the problem. Being nice to avoid conflict is. Being nice because you're afraid of being disliked is. Being nice because you think your needs don't matter is. Because that's not kindness. That's self-erasure. And people don't respect someone who erases themselves to stay liked. Respect doesn't disappear overnight. It fades quietly. Not when you're loud, but when you're silent in the moments you shouldn't be. When you let someone interrupt you and laugh it off. When you say, "It's fine," after being disrespected. When you smile while they cross your boundaries. When you make yourself small so others feel big. Every time you do that, you teach the world a lesson. I can be ignored without consequence. And the world listens. People treat you the way you've trained them to. So while you think you're being generous, they see someone without standards. While you think you're being humble, they see someone who lacks value. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. The more afraid you are of being disliked, the easier it is to be disrespected. Niceness becomes your armor, but also your prison. You don't speak up. You don't push back. You don't draw lines. Not because you don't want to, but because you've been taught that kindness and self-sacrifice are the same thing. They're not. One builds connection. The other destroys your identity. Your need to be liked didn't start last year. It started when you were too young to speak, but smart enough to notice one thing. Love was conditional. You got praised when you were quiet, accepted when you followed the rules, included when you didn't make things difficult. So you adapted. You became easy to love, easy to manage, easy to overlook. And that adaptation got rewarded with approval, with attention, with temporary peace. But here's the trap. The child who learned to survive by being nice grew into an adult who doesn't know how to be real. Because realness risks rejection, and rejection to your nervous system feels like death. Literally, your brain was built for tribe survival. Thousands of years ago, being cast out meant dying alone. So today, when someone frowns at you, disagrees with you, or makes you feel like too much, your system still fires up the same alarm. Stay likable or you won't survive. But this isn't a tribe anymore. And you're not a child anymore. You're not in danger. But your brain doesn't know that. Not yet. There's a moment that happens to every nice person. They realize they're exhausted. Not from doing too much, but from being too little of themselves. You say yes when you mean no. You over-explain. You tolerate bad behavior. You fix things you didn't break. And the reward? Being taken for granted. Being forgotten. Being the one everyone turns to until you need something. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. Kindness, without boundaries, turns into self-betrayal, and people can smell it. They sense when you're being nice because you're scared. They sense when your smile is armor, when your politeness is a plea to not be abandoned. But no one respects desperation, even if it's dressed as kindness. You think you're being noble, but what you're actually doing is making yourself smaller so others don't have to feel big. You're managing their emotions instead of honoring your own. And in doing so, you lose the very thing you're craving most: respect. Machiavelli didn't say, "Be cruel." He said, "Be strategic." He understood a basic truth about human nature. People rarely respect what they can control. They respect what they can't predict, what doesn't need them, what can walk away. That's why being nice doesn't earn respect, because it's predictable, it's safe, and safety, without power, gets ignored. You don't need to stop being kind, but you need to stop negotiating your self-worth with every smile. You need to stop folding just to keep the peace. Because what you call peace, Machiavelli would call submission. And he was right. The world doesn't reward passive goodness. It rewards presence, boundaries, command. People respect those who carry themselves like they don't need respect to feel whole. And that's the shift. You stop playing nice to earn space. You start standing firm because you already own it. This isn't about turning cold. It's about becoming clear. You want respect? Then stop asking for it. Start commanding it. And no, this isn't about being loud, aggressive, or rude. It's about clarity. Clarity in your words. Say no without a 20-minute explanation. Say, I don't like that, without laughing after. Say, I disagree, without looking down. Clarity in your space. Don't reply right away just to seem polite. Don't show up for people who drain you. Don't explain your silence to people who only noticed it when they needed something. Clarity in your presence. Walk into the room like your energy is a currency. Like not everyone gets to spend it. Because here's what most people don't realize. When you set boundaries, you don't push people away. You filter them. The wrong ones will fall off. The right ones will rise to meet you. And the best part? You won't have to raise your voice. You won't have to prove yourself. You'll just have to show up. Fully, firmly, finally, as you. And that's when respect finds you. Not because you demanded it, but because you stopped needing it. There's a quiet kind of power in finally choosing yourself. Not in anger, not in rebellion, just in stillness. You stop chasing approval. You stop fixing what you didn't break. You stop shrinking to fit someone else's comfort zone. And for the first time, you hear your own voice louder than everyone else's expectations. That's not selfish. That's self-respect. And it's not easy. You'll lose people. You'll disappoint some. You'll even scare a few. But you'll gain something far more valuable. You. Unedited. Unapologetic. Untouchable. Because when you stop trying to be nice, you start becoming real. And real people, they don't need to be liked to be respected.